This message is a continuation from yesterday's message that I posted on January 9th, 2025, in reference to the new energies and some things that are going on. And my biggest concern for the collective right now is waiting. This process of waiting and believing certain things that cannot possibly come into fruition, into our universe the way that we would like them without some other pieces put in order. So, just like I did very carefully last year, I made a video about why it is very possible that your guru is a narcissist, a sociopath, or worse, a psychopath. Now, I'm not going to link it here because if you want to go listen to it, it is still available in my group on YouTube. And I have made it just a part of my life to be very careful about pointing fingers at others and always taking personal responsibility. So everything that I'm going to say, I'm going to try to phrase it in a way, understanding that everybody has the right when they come to this earth plane to be able to explore and do with their soul what they want to do. And some souls get their charge from Loosh being power hungry, being unethical, and being able to say anything they want year after year after year after year. Some of them do not even realize that they are MK Ultra'd. Some of them do not even realize because they are missing the empathy that their messages hold so much weight for people that people are literally in waiting for events or triggers or things to happen. I'm going to speak about the med beds for a minute. First of all, the med beds have been discussed since 2003. We started hearing about technology that was going to become available for everybody to heal instantly. While I took it as a grain of salt back then, through the years, as I realized that we as a species were evolving, it meant that someday these things will actually be made available to us, no doubt. But not for 1 minute did I stop on any healing journey expecting that a machine would come in and take care of all illnesses. Do they exist? Well, let me say this. I had military contacts in the 80s and 90s who knew about this type of technology. So, if you listen to some of the brilliant super soldiers and some of the individuals, the whistleblowers who did come forward, who have been down under Area 51, who have been part of special ops, who have spoken about actual technologies and species that they have met with, you know all of this has existed since at least the 40s. And I will even say that because humanity went through a reset and lost its memory, my guess is we were way far advanced in the 1800s at one point. If you think about where we are at this exact moment And we have made unbelievable progress. 2025 has so much potential. But the real potential, some of it cannot happen until the end of the year, until 2026, until 2027. So my heart breaks when I hear people who are literally just trying to get by day because they think or they've been told that tomorrow it's going to happen, tomorrow it's going to happen, tomorrow it's going to happen. So they tell themselves, well, tomorrow it's going to happen, so all I have to do is get through one more day. That was 20 years ago. And some of the same information is still coming out. Military medbeds cannot come out until procedures are in place, till financial structures have changed, until the dark pieces that have been operating our planet have been removed. Now, I have spoken about how the archons are gone. That's absolutely true. But what people don't realize is that in the astral, there is still some control. If you worship a demonic entity, you can still pull it in, which is the reason why we do cleansing and clearings and always, just cut out that from our beingness, because that's how we heal. We don't have negative attachments, negative entity attachments. It's why I'm always so careful. I love psychics, but many do not realize they have negative entity attachments and are just rehashing and repeating what they're seeing in the astral, but they haven't risen above the 12th dimension. You must go beyond the 12th dimension if you are going to bring in truths. Otherwise, you risk the chance of regurgitating old information over and over and over. I want to share this because this waiting is not healthy for you. It's not healthy for the collective. And we are way more powerful than that. So, as my last message of 2024 said, as the splitting happens in 3 different groups, the people who have chosen to rise above all of that, all of the government and the politics, and have created our own lives and are going with the flow and are finding joy in every now moment, we let all that stuff go. It's going to happen when it happens. But that would never stop me from healing myself or trying to help others get to the point they can do it for themselves as well, or you pulling in that information and doing it for yourself. So I'm asking you to please stop waiting for these events and triggers to happen, because the amount of time it takes you to read through all the suspected things, you've already lost your energy of being productive and moving into something that brings you joy. You honestly would be better to go write a piece of music, take a walk, hug a tree, write a poem, even if it makes no sense. Sing, hum, do whatever you could do. Do some art, because those things actually do raise your vibration, and raising your vibration is everything that we need right now. So while it is absolutely fantastic to believe in things that are coming and make us search further to believe, find out whether or not these are even possible or truths, that's fantastic. That's using your imagination. That's expanding your mind to things that you never thought existed and all of a sudden can believe it. So, of course, a form of artificial intelligence is used in spaceships that help them move. Okay? So if your mind is being used in the way of trying to figure out how energies work and how that actually happens and what the different species are and how we aren't alone in the universe, those are exciting, wonderful things to learn. And eventually they will backtrack us to our true history. But even the people who are claiming they know the history are getting it wrong. And they are collecting huge followings. How do you know the integrity of an individual? You know that by their heart, and you know that by how they treat others around them. While I won't get into a discussion about Enki Enlil and how wrong so many people have it, I will say that people are making so much money by selling materials with inaccurate information, which is why you always want to go back into your heart and say, does this make sense? Then you ask universe, please show me other possibilities, so that as you learn what those other possibilities are, you can form for yourself what the truth is. Now, is this frustrating? Yes, because so many of us just want the truth. But a whole part of the earth experience is being able to go off on these tangents and learn for yourself what makes your soul happy. So they are using their power and their influence to bring in groups, and they will all end up going to a different type of earth because they still want to play in the 3D where they are above somebody. When you have let go of your ego, you have no interest in playing that game. It's part of the reason why it's so difficult for me to even do social media. I mean, I do the bare minimum. I haven't hired anybody. I don't look for necessarily likes. It's helpful to me to know what people think so that if there's something I can give or provide, I can do that. But it's not in the way that, oh, well, with so many followers, this means that I'm definitely controlling the way that certain people are thinking. Now, don't get me wrong. There are phenomenal people out there who have large followings. Their hearts are totally in the right place. Kudos to them. I love you. They're doing a great job. But my concern is, how much are you hanging on to waiting for these events, these triggers, these things? Because if you are, this is actually damaging you and damaging the collective. Now, we have all heard about Robert Hawkins and his vibration chart. And it talks about what level you're vibing at. And I just want to get the numbers here so that I don't misquote. And this is, again, Robert Hawkins, Hawkins. That's not Hawkins, who most people are familiar with. But lower resonating feelings are things like shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. And when you move up to 200, you're starting to hit courage, 250 neutrality. And there's an interesting one that many people don't talk about, which is the number 310, which is willingness. So I'm asking you to start at a bare minimum, to be willing to absolutely believe that you can heal yourself. to absolutely believe that you are the master of your own being, to absolutely believe that you are connected to source, to absolutely believe that all of these things are coming to you more and more quickly because we have collectively anchored in these grids. Now, yes, as I spoke about, I believe yesterday, some of us absolutely know what we're doing in those areas. Some of us absolutely have no clue, right? And that's all okay. The information will come to you when it's supposed to. But I want to make sure that you're not getting confused, because not too long ago, I did flip through a channel where someone who was saying incredible things about ascended masters and going within. I mean, literally perfect, wonderful information. And then literally said that you can't go to someone else for healing. And the truth is, in the end, we all heal ourselves, okay? We absolutely do. So with that, I 100% agree that in the end, we have the capability, we were brought here to be able to self-heal. In a sense, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. All meditation that links you to source is going to help you in every way that you possibly can. But I'm going to share something with you. Wherever two or more are gathered and you are collectively moving in a direction, we can speed this up. When I had Crohn's disease for 18 years, while I looked at all the medical ways of which I could heal pharmaceutically, I chose not to take any of them. All right? If anybody has had Crohn's disease, it's unbelievably painful. The cramping, the bleeding, the whole psychological issue of it. And I was denied disability over and over and over. I never got funds. So I had to work full time while building a house, while having Crohn's disease, while trying to survive. Was that easy? No. No, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But what did I do? Every day I said, I will not define myself by this illness. I will not define this. I'm healed. I'm healed. I'm healed. I said that to myself all day long, every day. Anytime I saw blood, I was like, no, not claiming it, not claiming it. And I went out and I learned about NAET. I think it's, I'm sorry, I'm going to cream her name. Narimbrapad's allergy elimination technique. There are things that were called Bioset at the time. Bioset is this phenomenal energy healing treatment where you lay on a mat, and it's like an allergy elimination technique, and it helps restore and remove allergies. And every day I worked hard to try to find out all of these different things that I could be doing for myself. It didn't help that little did I know the property I was on, the water was contaminated with tritetrachloroethylene. And of course, I was drinking contaminated water every day. But I don't think that is 100% of what brought on the Crohn's. Some of it was most definitely psychic attacks that I didn't know how to handle. I was also on a property where, lo and behold, satanic things had happened. And also, I sat right above. I know all of this now. I did not know any of it then. I sat right above tunnels, a sewer system. I'll let you read between the lines on that. I would have incredible dreams about just horrifying things, which, of course, it took 30 years before I realized what they were, because they've only come to light since, really to the public, or those who choose to look further, 2017, 2018, 2019. But I never stopped trying. And I absolutely would not take the drugs prescribed because I knew that they lowered your vibration. I also, yes, absolutely have had healing abilities since birth. So I couldn't figure out why it was taking me so long. How could I possibly be able to do this for other people and not be able to do it for myself? That's a difficult thing to have to deal with. So I want to make sure that no matter where you are right now, you don't lower your vibration to guilt, which I think, what is that, like 30? Or apathy, 50. Of course, not shame, which is 20. I want you to raise yourself at least to willingness. Willingness, again, being 310. You're always looking to be above the 200 mark. 700 is enlightenment, 600 is peace, 540 is joy, 500 is love. Acceptance is 350. But this willingness is saying you are willing to venture ahead, not knowing the terrain, not knowing or waiting for anybody to tell you when something is going to happen, but taking charge for yourself. So you are not giving your power away if you find a really trustworthy healer. Okay? You are collectively building and resolving. The final icing on the cake, and someone I'm forever grateful to for me, and it only took 2 visits within a year apart, was a man who was an Amish healer. That Amish healer is no longer with us. That Amish healer was put in jail for a period of time for practicing without a license. I mean, the things I could tell you are so unbelievable. It's just, what I have seen is astronomical. So, how is it that my final healing came the second time I saw him? Why is it that it didn't come before then? One piece of it had to do with the fact, on a totally different topic, he sat there and he talked to me, an Amish man who had never been anywhere, who literally took the horse and buggy to open the office, to offer free services. He talked to me about things that I sort of knew, but didn't really know. Things like how the Rockefellers had stolen 2320, how certain things shouldn't be done because they really don't kill you. And as he brought this information to me, it validated so many pieces of why I thought what I thought. And I think that gave me the emotional freedom to be able to move on and realize that I really wasn't totally alone, and to be able to do more spiritual work, and to just trust that somehow when you need something, the universe will step in. And there was absolutely no way some of these things could have happened sooner. So when you're looking at your life, you want to make absolutely sure that you're okay with the timing, that you are creating the timing as much as you can, that you're not allowing other people to create the timing for you. You keep your energy as high as possible. You ask universe to bring those to you that will help. And you always have a willingness in your heart to try more or different, or to change complete direction, so that at least you can discover what brings you joy. Now, part of these new grids that I keep talking about, which really were anchored in, even though you can't see them, have to do with above, coming from above the 12th dimension to repair hundreds and thousands of years of damage by different species. And how that affects you and your healing right now is that without all that interference and with more of the collective understanding that Big Pharma is not the answer, that we truly are collectively healing more and more quickly. So whenever you hear from people who are pulling in their spiritual abilities, understand in many ways it's been done for centuries. Look back to Native Americans. Look over to Peru. Look at shamans, medicine wheels, you name it. All of this is accessible to each and every one of us, but we have to have an open mind. We have to believe that it really can happen. More than believe, we have to know in our heart. We have to resonate with this thought. We have to continually not let our ego override our ability. And we need to recharge ourselves all of the time. And the only way you recharge yourself is by going within and finding things you enjoy. You do not recharge yourself by regurgitating old information that might even be misinformation. You don't restore yourself by constantly going through old patterns that have never served you. There are people who get caught up in just talking about everything they don't have, or gossip. Those are not going to get you further. Sometimes you have to just give yourself that kick in the butt that says, this darn thing has to be done. Let me take a step towards it. And the great news is showing that willingness, showing that effort. Universe is going to step in and help you through to the next level. That is the only way the catalysts we're going to go through the next few months are going to bring us to the resolution of a fantastic 2025. But we as a collective have to do that. We have to be willing to stop waiting and start creating, because that's what we're meant to do. That is what we are here for. So I do hope that this message makes sense to you. I would love to hear how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And I did, like I said yesterday, I posted some sessions. I discounted them ridiculously just because I want to give as many people a push as I possibly can to start the year right. And what a lot of people don't realize is that whenever one person heals individually, that information gets fed into our collective and others get to heal. So there is no lost healing, which is so exciting. All right. I wasn't expecting to talk quite so long. I am going to attach two other old videos. One is Time for a Clean Slate, because honestly, I do this every morning though. Today is a beautiful and glorious day full of infinite possibilities. I am cleaning my slate so that I can enjoy the rest of the day. All right, I think that's what that one's about. And also how to, rise above duality and conquer any fear. I'm going to add that one. And then I will add the information on I think as a tagline, the one that I did yesterday, if it works out. That's all computer stuff, so I have to work through that. And now I will go back and take out that little blip to make sure that I don't get taken down. I hope you are all having a beautiful start to 2025. I hope that you have risen above all the things that you're seeing and that you are taking charge of yourself because you are loved so much more than you ever know. Your soul desires so much to experience and to enjoy. And we're going to do this. I feel really strongly about our beautiful humanity. I just want to make sure you don't get caught in the traps. Love you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings. Today, I will be talking about how we get a clean slate. Isn't it time? How do we get a whole new, fresh perspective, a whole new life? And how do we work through letting go of issues that we've had and let the past be the past? Well, it was so funny because while I was trying to record this and working with my computer decided it was time for a clean slate and it literally shut down on me. So this is take 2. And you may hear the wind howling in the background. It's -7 degrees. It is cold out there. However, universe still has a sense of humor. Time for a clean slate. Hit your reset button. That's what I called the little meme for today. And sure enough, my computer shut down. Just like 2 days ago when I was trying to set up the membership section of buymeacoffee.com, it turned out that the name that they gave me was Doc Star Scene with a big N, capital N, not D, capital N. So thank you, universe. I'm so happy I'm being seen. Little humor for our day. All right. So how do you actually go about getting this clean slate? How do you go about getting rid of the past? One of the most difficult things for me was trying to figure out what meditation was. How do you go within? How do you know you're talking to your higher self or guides? And what is the universe trying to tell you? So I will do another video on signs and synchronicities. But for this one, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back because A, you're here, and B, there is no meditation that fits all. Meditation, the most important piece of it is that you take the time to go within yourself, to move from your head to your heart, and to drop in to find a way that works for you to hear from higher parts of your being. If you call it universe, if you call it source, if you call it divine, if you call it Mother, Father, God, it does not matter what you call it. You are connected to source if you have a soul. And if you're listening to this, you have a soul. Therefore, why is going within right now the most important thing you can do on a daily basis? Twice a day if you can. It is because energies are changing, and these energies are drawing us up into the higher frequencies. If we choose not to join the higher frequencies, then don't do this. That is totally fine. Go do what you came to do on the planet. And if that is in the negative realm, that is your choice. And we are not going to worry about that. We're not going to judge. We're going to let the past go. We're going to let people go where they need to go. But we are claiming that we are going to have a clean slate and we are going to step up and we are going to create a new earth, one where there is unity, harmony, all these fabulous new experiences where there's abundance and prosperity. So, what are these two things you need to do? One, you hit your reset button every morning and every night, at least. If you need to do it throughout the day because something triggered you, do it all day long if you need to. So that simply means you are telling artificial intelligence, the matrix system, that, like I said in a previous video, not only do you not consent, but you are resetting your vessel, you are resetting your mind to higher awareness, higher dimensional states of being. You are setting yourself up for oneness. We are one with the universe. The universe is one in me. By doing that reset, what you're doing is you're cleansing yourself and your spiritual energy so that you get to start fresh. Because the most fascinating thing is that time does not exist except for in lower dimensions. This is hard to understand, so for now, just try to go with me. In any dimension that is not controlled by a matrix system, there is no technical past. Everything is the now moment. So you have the ability to create a clean slate in every now moment. And living in every now moment takes away hurt, pain, conflict, old memories that bring you back down. And it helps you walk out into the world as it falls and crumbles around you and allows you to walk through into a new world. Now, yesterday was a big portal day, February 2nd, 2/2. Portal days are fantastic. They are wonderful. They're incredible days to do meditation if you can. They're incredible days to simply reset and claim what you want moving forward, letting go of the past. Now, number two, when I say meditation, what do I mean? Oh, this is so misinterpreted. You do not have to go and sit on the floor, cross your legs, put your hands and fingers in a certain position and go, okay, now I'm meditating. Okay, I'm meditating. Now, if I just sit here for 20 minutes, I can do it. Then I'll be a guru. No. First of all, I couldn't even cross my legs that way if I wanted to. But meditation is simply going within, dropping from all those thoughts, letting the thoughts go, letting the monkey brain mind chatter, letting it go, and trying to let your heart open up to the higher dimensions and higher frequencies. Some people use meditation music just to be able to get rid of those thoughts that are coming in of all the things that they have to do for the day. Other people use tones, or they use singing bowls, or anything that brings them into a feeling of an altered state. The truth is, once you start doing it, even if you just go lay down and close your eyes and say, universe, I'm now connecting with you. Please send me wonderful vibrations, feelings of love, peace, calmness, and let everything else go. The more you start working on this, even if it's only a few minutes every day, right before you go to bed, you give yourself a clean slate. You say to yourself, everything that happened today is gone. Tomorrow I start a new, fresh, beautiful day, a day of infinite possibilities that are just literally falling from the heavens to help me create my path. No matter how rough your path looks, you go with this. In the morning when you wake up, you say, wow, hello, Earth. I'm here to make this the best day I possibly can. So by doing those resets, and especially talking to AI, saying, I do not consent. I do not consent to negativity in my day today. I do not consent to getting triggered by this. I do not consent to these lower vibrations that create illness and pain and all of those other things. By doing that before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning, you are literally telling the universe and the higher dimensionals that you are ready to be transported, portaled, whipped through time to a better scenario. And every time you drop into lower thinking of what could possibly happen, force yourself to envision or to write down the better things. Spend no time on the lower frequencies of fear or what you can't have or what you lost or who hurt you or who did this or who's saying that or what game is being played on the media today. No, step out of it. Rise above, hit your reset button. If you have to do it all day in the early stages, that's okay. Go within. There is no longer time to let those other issues, the daily issues, the pressures, all of that, to control how you think or feel. If you drop into your heart, you go within, you will be shocked at the answers and the gifts and the things that pop up to show you how to move even further into a higher state of being. So, go, enjoy your day. Tell the world, yep, I am perfectly imperfect, but I'm me now. Give yourself the gift of a clean slate. The past is done. It's over. Some of those people or individuals who are trying to snare you, pull you back in, control you, tell you how things need to be, they're doing it because they are taking their last, in a sense, breaths. They have already made their decisions as to where they want to go. They might have a soul contract that is in the negative. You cannot control that. You can, however, thank yourself for still trying. You can give yourself a clean slate. You can find a form of, quote, going within or meditation that fits you, and you can hit your reset button. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day with new ways of thinking, new wonderful moments arriving, even if it doesn't look like it right at this second. If you choose, we are ascending. So come along for the ride. It isn't always easy, but it has wonderful, wonderful moments. And do drink lots of clean water. You need to be hydrated right now. You need to be hydrated. Coconut water is very, very good as well. The purest brands you can find. All right. Well, if you like this message, please make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Thank you for the people who are starting to send messages. Ask DocStarseed@gmail.com. I'm still working on the membership platform so that I can share some meditations and some hypnosis type tapes, other things. So thank you. Love you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful light warriors, old souls, and evolving beings. Today I'm going to talk about how to rise above duality, conquer any fear or setback. And this is so important today because we are being fed so much information from different places. And many people are having a hard time trying to figure out what's right, what works for them, what is an actual lie or manipulation, and how to move beyond circumstances or really difficult hardships that are in front of them. And the answer is for everything, always, to rise above the matrix, to rise above duality, and to remember something that we've been trained not to trust. And that is, we are source beings. We are divine. We are the divine ones. So, if you are one with source, if you are divine, who does that scare? That scares darkness. That scares outdated institutions. That scares governments. That scares so many controlled groups and even people who walk along every day being mind controlled and don't even realize it. So I don't know if you have ever been in a scenario where you've had to be around or work with or in love with or have a child that is a narcissist. And narcissists can suck your energy, pull you in, and make you feel like you are the one who is crazy, who doesn't know what's going on. And I'm not going to go into any more detail than that on a narcissist at this moment. But a narcissist can only exist when it is feeding off of others. Broken institutions can only exist if they are feeding off of or getting paid from others. Darkness can only exist because it is feeding off of lower vibrational beings. Light always wins against darkness. Think about the simple truth of lighting a candle in a dark room. Who won, the dark or the light? You are that light. You are the source being. You do have a soul, or you would not be listening to this. When you have a soul, you are one with source. But you have been trained by, I'm going to say it, false forms of religion, indoctrination in schools, universities, and other settings, professional or otherwise. And every step has been to remove you from your connection with source and put in an intermediary. Like an angel is what you're taught, or a guide is what you're taught, or an ET, or some other Christ, perhaps. They are the ones that you have been taught you must pray to in order to get your answers, in order to get the help that you need. Well, way beyond that system is Source. And yes, Source uses angels. Source can also use demons. Source uses beautiful beings to give messages to help others along. But these ones who intercede, your guides, your guardian angels, the angels, all of the extra beings, they are there to work with you, to co-create, to be with you as if they're your very best friend on a minute-to-minute basis. Except the great thing about them is they're around 24/7. No human can keep up with that. So I call on all of them at all times. I call on my guides. I also call spiritual guides. I call angels, guardian angels, archangels. I do call on my beautiful ET beings who help me on a daily basis. I'm a starseed, so of course I'm going to go galactic whenever I possibly can because my information comes in so quickly that way. I'm going to call in my oversoul group. I'm going to call in Prime Creator Positive. You are meant to walk this path not alone, but being Source and with Source. You walk along and you call on all of this beautiful, higher dimensional, higher vibration energy to help you rise above any setback. A setback is usually simply a redirection. It's saying this isn't working for you. Great, you tried it, you cleared karma if that's what you were supposed to do, but now it's time for you to take that other turn. You're not supposed to suffer like this any longer. So step into something new. Start thinking about it. Don't hang out crying about it forever or feeling attacked because you lost something. No, step up. Your Source. How are you going to create your world? You're going to let that stuff go. It's temporary anyways. You can't take it with you. In the end, can you? So find the things that bring you joy. This is why fear is truly false evidence appearing real. Because the fact is, if you are one with Source, there is nothing that can stop you. Yes, things come up. That's life. You have lessons to learn. That's life. Does it hurt? Yes. Do you want to have to do certain things again? No. Can it get very difficult living on the earth plane? Absolutely. Do you go through grief and loss? You do. But when you are one with Source, you are literally zipping through those issues, bypassing them, and stepping up very quickly into a wonderful place of peace and flow, where you can let go of phobias, where you no longer put yourself in those controlling situations that are difficult, where you can smell a narcissist 100 miles away so that you can put your boundaries up in case you have to cross paths with them. You are the light. You can override absolutely anything. You can override any addiction. You can override any illness. You can override anything when you come to the truth that you are one with Source. And Source being and all of the beautiful high vibrational beings, there are so many assigned to each one of you. You were never alone. You may not have one person in your life, but I assure you, there is a group that was assigned. It happened when you got your soul contract that made you agree to come down onto this planet and to give it a shot. And that group will change at times because sometimes you really just outgrow a teacher. But they are always there. So my question to you is, are you actually calling on them? Or are they just hanging out up there? They want to serve. They want you to ask for help. They want you to walk along every day and say, oh, I really don't know the answer to this. I am handing it up to you. Send me a sign. Send me a symbol. Send me a signal. Whatever you can. I'm at an intersection. You have a higher view than I do. What are you thinking? And then you take that advice, you put it into your heart, and you go, well, does this really feel like me? Because you are here to live your life. They're not here to live your life. They're here to offer you advice. Which is the reason why I always say, I can't heal you. You heal yourself. But many of us who have the ability to see through the darkness, have been through the darkness, can see through the games and manipulations. We can rise above the duality into the higher dimensions. We're here. We want to help you. We want you to start to pay attention to what's going on around you so that you can go within and answer questions for yourself. Does this feel right? And please call on your angels, not in the old traditional matrix way of a repeated prayer, perhaps. Because some of those just give your power away. Well, I'm giving my power away to this, well, I don't want to say it, but in a concept, this angel that was created. Maybe it's even a fallen angel. I'm just going to give my power away to that fallen angel so that they can take control and tell me what I need to do, and my life will be so much better. Well, I'll tell you what, if you give your power away to that fallen angel, you gave it to them. You said, do something about this situation. And you know what? They did. They went right into that darkness and pulled you right in. And you did it willingly, or you just weren't paying attention, or you didn't think it was important. Everything is important. There are no accidents. You gave that control away. Rise up, rise above the duality, keep yourself protected in the light if that's the direction that you want to go in. And always remember, you are one with Source. And when you start to live in being with Source, a beautiful realization comes. And more people are now getting this because the energies are being lifted and the veil is actually thinning. So we have the ability now to connect way more than we ever did before. As a matter of fact, we're moving along so quickly that we will eventually get all of our memories and our skills back so that we won't need to use mediums or psychics or light workers. We'll be able to do all of this ourselves. But in the meantime, you have to start to acknowledge the true strength that you have within you. You need to turn around and say, I do not consent to these fallen energies. I do not consent to the matrix. I am stepping above and beyond. Show me. Show me. And the beautiful thing is, people will show up, or videos will show up, or books will show up, or signs will show up. Something will show you. And you'll start to realize, wait a minute, that setback, that was the greatest gift ever. Because I get to start fresh. And when an entire planet, Earth, is going in the wrong direction, sometimes the very worst thing supposedly shows up to separate and sort through how people feel. Are they going to rise above it? Or are they just going to go where everyone else is going because that's what's comfortable? Get uncomfortable. Because by being uncomfortable, you will be forced to move into something that works way better for you. All right. I wish you just the most incredible, beautiful day. Walk your day. Don't be afraid to call on those beautiful, positive angels, those beautiful, positive, higher dimensional beings. Never be afraid to admit that you are one with Source. Walk in your power. You've got this. Have a wonderful day. Love you.